All right, we are live. Hello, good evening,
Hello.
everybody. It's ladies' night and the feeling's right. Oh, what a night. I had Cool in the gang last week and it wasn't very good.
I think the singing, you singing sounds just fine. Keep going.
Oh, I'm sure it sounds just fine. I'm not quite so sure about sounding so fine. I haven't ever been able to sing. It's been the one thing I can't do. Are you guys good singers?
I'm a shower singer when I have a sore throat. So I sound really good. So yeah, you'll hear me sing only if I'm got a bad sore throat.
Oh, wow. Well, some people are coming online. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Ladies Night In. This is going to be fun. So last week, we opened it up and we wanted to see how everybody's doing, and we want to know how you're doing. But you know what? We made it through another week of coronavirus, baby.
Yay!
Yeah, so exciting and lots to do. You know what I did this week is because I had this strange feeling that we were going to get through this time and get back to work and traveling, and I was going to have been home for, I don't know, weeks and have nothing accomplished. So I made myself a goal board. And so now I have work goals, personal goals, and home goals. And I've been checking my list off, and it feels really good to feel accomplished and have something done. And then so tonight we've got quite a few people on there tonight. We're having a contest to name this puppy.
I have a name. I already know what my contest name's going to be.
Yeah. So this puppy is 3 weeks old yesterday. I struggled with the date of this puppy, but she is 3 weeks old as of yesterday, and she's just a wonderful little girl. Put your face in there. She's a wonderful little girl. Her mother is Shoots Like a Girl Legacy 2. Y'all might want to write that down. Shoots Like a Girl Legacy 2. And her daddy is a mutt. And we're calling him Coronavirus. And so this is the contest. You take her mama's name, Shoots Like a Girl Legacy 2, and take Coronavirus and come up with a new name for this puppy. And we're going to name this puppy tonight. All right.
I have a question. I have a request.
Yes.
Can we include the word mutt in Coronavirus? Because it kind of works with the letters I chose for my puppy name.
I guess we'll change the words for Chris, but you can't win. You're ineligible to win.
I'm not going to win, but I still want to put my name up there.
Yeah, we'll do that. So y'all think about that. Put that in the comments, because inside the comments, whoever gets the most likes by the next time we meet next Tuesday night will win. I don't know if y'all noticed, we have a guest tonight, Miss Liz Lazarus, a very accomplished author.
Oh, I can't. There's wrong way. I can't. Back up. There's Liz.
Yep, Liz is in the middle, and she is going to talk to us tonight about her books.
So, everybody, I'm Krista. Yep. I'm going to jump in real quick. Sorry, we've got no structure. This is the whole point about Ladies Night In. We don't need structure. We're breaking free from the requirement to have structure. So yes, Liz is joining us tonight. She'll tell us a little bit about herself. We're glad to have her. Remember, we've got Ladies Nights every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, if I have the times right. Yeah, I do. My brain is like in shutdown mode. We'll have a contest every week. And as Karen just said, we've got a puppy naming contest. So let's talk a little bit about Liz. Liz, I met, as a matter of fact, Karen had asked me earlier, and I couldn't remember how I met her first because I kind of have, a friendship with her now. But I actually met her on her book tour. So she has written a few books, and on book 1, she did this extensive stint across the country, and that's where I met her. And I'm going to let her share the rest of her story. So Liz, you want to join in and talk about how you got started and about all of your books?
Okay, I said your mic was muted, so you unmuted me. Well, I first have to joke because Krista said, well, we've got a lot of people coming tonight. She goes, it's your books. I said, no, it's the puppy. So I want to get in on naming the puppy too. So if I'm eligible. But yes, Krista is right. We met on the book tour. I had done quite an extensive book tour with women's shooting chapters. The Well-Armed Woman, Girl and a Gun, a couple independent chapters. Didn't realize, because it does play into the theme of the first book. So as some of you may know, but for those that don't, I'll just give a quick summary of the first one. So it's called Free of Malice, which I think, there we go, wicked reflection there. I never intended to write a book. I had an engineering degree. I spent my career in business at General Electric. I'd gotten an MBA. I mean, I was all about business and engineering and everything about kind of your left side of the brain, not your right side of the brain. And it was based on a true story. When I was in college, a guy broke in through the kitchen window, crept into the house, kicked open my bedroom door, and woke me up in the middle of the night. Before I could even figure out what was going on, he attacked me. I was super lucky. I managed to fight him off. And you always think about what would you do, and I never even thought about what I would do. You freeze, you fight back, but I was super lucky. I fought him back. I fought back. And I guess he figured out that I was making so much noise and it was taking longer than he thought. And so he eventually left. So I grabbed my only weapon I had at the time, can of mace, ran to the door, and watched him disappear down the street. The police came, they looked around the house. Back then we didn't do much. And there was this attitude of, well, you were lucky you weren't raped, get over it. And I thought, well, yeah, I was lucky I wasn't raped, get over it. But I wasn't getting over it. And nobody really talked about PTSD back then. So I started to journal. And so the beginning of this book was my journal. And what prompted me to write it was I had said to my brother-in-law, if I had had a gun, I would have shot him in the back, or I would have shot him when he was leaving. And then my brother-in-law said, well, you would have shot him in the back as he was leaving your property on the street. That's not self-defense. And it really piqued my curiosity, because in my mind, I was like, I had every right to shoot him. So I thought about, well, where's that line from self-defense and vigilantism, and what would happen had I shot him? And then what really made me finally write the book, some of you know who've read it and who know the ending, was a question that my mother asked me. And what made her think that? And wouldn't that make a killer twist ending for a book? So it was after her question where I was like, okay, I'm going to write this book. So I did a ton of research, interviewed several criminal defense lawyers. A lot of people think I'm a lawyer because of this book, but no, I just interviewed a lot of people. And it came out in 2016. So hopefully a lot of you guys have already read it. I had no intention to write another book, but the reviews were, and the feedback was so good that I ended up writing a second one, which is Plea for Justice.
Okay, so hang on a second, Liz. Hang on a second. If you've read book one, so let's do a heart emoji. Hit your heart emoji on your screen if you've read book one. That way we'll know people who have read book one. I've read book one. I know Karen's read book one. So if you've read book one, hit your heart emoji. Now, go on and talk about, you're getting ready to talk about Plea for Justice.
Yeah, so I wasn't planning to write another book. It was one and done. It was on my bucket list. I did it. And let me tell you, writing a book is kind of a hard thing. Writing it's hard. Editing it's harder. Getting it published is even harder. So anyone who wants to do it, call me first. I won't talk you out of it, but I'll help you. So anyone who wants to write a book, because I think we've all got one in us. But the second one, I thought, well, if people are looking for a book too, let me make it with some similar themes about a woman who's empowered and some education and criminal defense, the justice system. And so the second one, Plea for Justice, is it's about a paralegal named Jackie who's friends with a boy named Aaron in high school. And they're great friends until they graduate, and then he dumps her. Doesn't explain why, hurts her feelings, because she's kind of the nerdy girl, and he becomes a paralegal. And 10 years later, he is arrested for killing a girl. And the media dubs him the Snapchat killer because he allegedly took video of the girl before he killed her. Instead of going to trial, he takes a plea deal, hence Plea for Justice, and goes to prison. From prison, he reaches out to Jackie, our paralegal, and begs her to help him, swearing that he's innocent. So the second one is told from two points of view. It's told from Jackie's point of view as she investigates all the details of the case and the trial that never happened. And it's told from this character called Me, M.E.
Me.
Bad guy. That was Krista's favorite character, I know. Bad guy, and it's told from his point of view, and it alternates back and forth. And you find out the ending, you find out the twist. This one has probably 3 good twists in it versus the first one that has one twist ending. And yeah, it's fun to write about. And I always put a little bit of firearms element in there. So in the first book, Laura, the character, learns to shoot. The second book, Jackie learns to carry. So as I started to learn about how to protect myself with firearms, with alarms, with self-defense moves, I put those in my books so that they're educational.
Awesome. So all right, now everybody hit your emoji. Who's read book 2? I've read book 2 a few times.
I've read book 2.
Like, a lot of times.
I've read book 2. If the puppy could read, she would read book 2.
Don't forget,
"I'll
name your
do
puppy.
it."
Okay, so that's 2 books that are in print, and are they both on audio?
Well, it's been fun. So the first one's on audio, and Krista, you were part of this on the second one. So I put the second one out for auditions. I had found the me character right away. He's an actor, did a great job, just diabolical male voice. And then for the female Jackie character, we put it up for auditions, and I had like 120 auditions. It was mind-boggling to learn them all. And then the crazy thing is I actually went back to my first narrator for the first book because she interprets the words the right way. And you don't think about that till someone reads your book and they accentuate the word you didn't mean for them to. And you're like, no, that's not the right word. So she's going to be recording it. So the second one will be out on audio soon.
So I can tell you, I'm currently reading, air quotes, a textbook via audiobook. I have about 6 to read. And one of these books, the one I'm reading right now, the narrator is awful. Oh my gosh, I get about 30 minutes in and I have to stop and put my headset down and think, do I need to make the time to actually physically read this book because I cannot listen to this person read to me. So I understand now. I didn't understand until I went through that process with you and you kept sending snippets going, what do you think? And I'm like, now I've gotten picky. So now every audiobook, I'm sure I'll be checking boxes. Do I like this person? Does it sound right? Am I interested? So what about book 3?
Well, so
is there a book 3?
There is a book 3. It is with my second editor. And I think it's my favorite because each book is different, but it's always the one you're currently on is your favorite. But the third book is about a woman named Juliana. She owns a restaurant. She's in the restaurant late at night by herself, getting ready to close, and a woman appears out of nowhere and says, "We need to talk," which we all know that's not a good beginning. And the woman says, "He's not who you think he is." And before she can say anything more, a shot comes through the window, kills the girl dead. So Juliana doesn't know who she's talking about. And it can be several characters because Juliana's husband, who's a pilot, has disappeared 3 months ago. His plane disappeared and they're still trying to find him. Her bartender's kind of shady. She's still living with the stepson. So there are a couple suspects as far as who this girl could be talking about, or she might be talking about somebody else altogether. And this one's also told in an alternating point of view. It's told by Juliana, who describes all these things happening in her life as she's trying to keep her restaurant afloat, trying to figure out who this girl was and what she wanted. And it's told also from Detective Grant's point of view as he investigates the murder. And I learned so much about investigating murder. I spent hours and hours and hours with a police captain who was a former detective who took me through the process, what she would do to investigate a murder. And it was a blast. So this third one has a ton of twists. I think it's even harder to figure out. And it's got, like I talk about, it's got the cake, like at the end, you get that morsel of cake. Then it's got icing, and then it's got a cherry on top. So just when you think you're done and you figured it out, you get another kick. So
Liz, when does that book come out?
Well, I don't know yet. I will tell you guys, you'll be the first to know. The editing takes forever. I'm with the second editor, who's called the line editor, and she gets it for about a month and a half.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for her feedback, and hopefully she doesn't have major portions she wants me to rewrite, because I'm just going to say I can't. Yeah. It's like tearing down a house and starting over. It's like I can't. But
So what have you been writing during this, kind of shelter in place time, or what have you been doing during this whole time?
I do some consulting work in addition to writing. So I've been helping a client. They make medical devices that reduce X-ray radiation. So I get to use that engineering part of my brain some. So we've been doing some work. We don't go in the office much, I have to say, but it's the product's obviously on hold because we can't travel, we can't install it. But hopefully in due time we'll pick up. And then I've been a little bit paranoid, but I'm over it now. I've been using this pulse oximeter. You guys.
Oh.
When this all came out, I first got one. Now I've got oxygen at 96. I'm good, right? So in the beginning, I was like doing this a lot, and then I'm like, okay, you're fine. Calm down. So,
Nope, trust me, we got one of those little thermometers that you put on your forehead. And when Ben was here, it was the thing to do every day. He'd get the thermometer and take everybody's temperature. Like, everybody's good. Like, we're not sick. So, yep.
Yeah, I totally understand that. We have a thermometer at our front door. Jeff has been focused on if we leave and if we come back, we must check our temperature. And I'm like, honey, it's not going to be an instant thing. It's not like there's particles in the air, you were exposed to it, and bam, you get a fever. But that's okay. We check multiple times a day. It's our new entertainment, is to check our temperature.
Right. Well, I had a dry cough for like a week, and then you're thinking, okay, could that be it, or is it the pollen? Or am I 25% of the population that didn't know they had it? So
yeah,
I know, right?
Unique. It's so unique. Today in our little county, they have had an increase. We jumped 4 cases. Am I delayed? Am I like sputtering?
No, we gotcha.
Okay. We jumped 4 cases overnight. So we don't have very many, but our population, our census is very low. And they've been able to take all of our cases and trace them back to one of our 2 big box stores. We have 2 in our town. We have 2 in the whole county, 2 big box stores, and that's it. And they've traced them back to one of those 2. They won't say which one, but they're now asking all of us, even the people who are well, that if we go out in public, exposing ourselves at a store, a gas station, big box or not, to wear a mask.
Yeah. I think the masks are a good thing. So my son got mobilized. He's in the Colorado National Guard. He got mobilized, and he is now in some part of Colorado because their county is so small that they don't have a hospital and they don't have an emergency response team. And so Danny was a medevac pilot. And so he's gone out there to help run their emergency response and how they help transport patients and get patients that need medical care to and from the logistically. So it's been kind of cool for him to help them with their medical response. So, hey, everybody else, why don't I like Krista's idea. If you guys have been taking your temperature or your pulse, like go ahead and like put the laughing emoji out there so we can see how many people are we the only, people that are a little cray-cray on that one? Or are you guys doing it too? Because I think it's not really cray-cray. I think it's just being prudent to make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. Yeah. So go ahead, Liz.
I was fine. I'm taking my pulse oximeter. I feel very lucky because it hasn't touched anybody I know yet. Just, a friend of a friend, but super lucky. It hasn't touched anyone I know yet. But then when I saw the cat, the lion, or this tiger, right, at the zoo that could get it. So then I'm thinking,
oh, yes.
Did I give it to my cat, right? Because he stopped eating for a couple days. And I'm thinking, did I give it to my cat? You go from just being your normal to these crazy thoughts like, okay, not only did I have it, but I gave it to my cat because he stopped eating for a couple days.
Right. I think that it's our brains have idle time. Our minds have idle time. We would never think about stuff like that. That would be just beyond what we have time to deal with.
Yeah.
And now we can worry about, did we give it to our cat or our dog or
she likes back up here.
There's our puppy. Or what we're doing. So Liz, I see you can read chapter 1 of Free of Malice or Plead for Justice at your website, www.lizlazarus.com. Amazon book, Audible, how do they get this book if they haven't read it yet?
Oh yeah, so my website has links to Amazon, Audible, Barnes and Noble. You can download the first chapter if you want to try it first, and if you like audiobooks, which I love audiobooks, especially if the voice is good, right, Krista?
Yeah, now the voice has to be good.
Voice has to be someone you can tolerate for 10 hours. The first one is on Audible, and the second one should be in another couple months.
Yep.
Awesome.
And
Well, great.
whoever gets the most likes on this adorable puppy's name by next week, Liz has agreed to provide that set of books to the winner. Aww.
I thought you were going to say that the winner would get a puppy.
Well, we do have 3 puppies that are looking for very good homes, and I will tell you that we're going to make sure these dogs get great homes. They're really cute. They've just started to do their whole puppy thing, and so they're becoming, integrated with the family. And
I haven't had opportunity. Sorry about that, Karen.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I haven't had an opportunity to read if we had any questions for Liz. I hope you've been paying attention to that. So if anyone has anything, throw it out there before we hit our 30-minute mark. We've got a few minutes left.
Well, I had a name, or when you said it had to be a combo of She's Like a Girl and the Mutt, to me, well, that was just too obvious maybe, but I was thinking Slam or Slammy. But that didn't use Corona. But maybe we don't want a reminder of Corona. Maybe we want the name not to have Corona when this is all over. It might be something we want in our memory.
So she's got these really cute little, I don't know, let's see, I'm sorry, I'm not good at this. All of her feet are tipped like that. Every single one of her feet has that little white tip. It's so cute. But I was thinking that maybe we could call her Corona Girl. Like Corona Girl.
No. My name, I chose Chai Latte. She looks like the color of a chai latte, right? She's got that creamy chocolate with a little bit of white frothy color dipped on her toes and across her face. That was what I was thinking. She is adorable.
Look how well she is, right? Like this is the poster child of a sweet dog. Look how sweet she is.
I was kind of waiting for her to pee on Karen because I think that's the next thing to happen.
I'm waiting for that to happen too, and you'll see the dog quickly go in her bucket. Yeah.
All right. So our goals were. Oh, sorry. There I go stepping on you again, Karen. I just want to talk. Our goals for Tuesday night are to bring people together and talk about things that are fun, interesting, fun, light. Get our mind off the day-to-day, whether we are essential and working in a new realm of essential, or if we are on the other end of the spectrum and today we're not working and we might have been 3 weeks ago. This is a time for 30 minutes that we can step away from the real world, hopefully, and talk about fun, silly, educational stuff and just have a girl moment. The next couple weeks, we've got 2 or 3 different options coming up. Nothing has been confirmed for next Tuesday. I can tell you that it will either be something that includes green or breathing. Green or breathing. So those are your 2 clues. You just haven't gotten a confirm yet.
Green or breathing?
I have
no idea what you're talking about. but we want to make sure these are fun. And, I know some people are having harder times than others, and some people are getting through this like nothing. But let's know that we're all together and we can come together and learn something. Liz, it was so cool to hear about your story about why you wrote those books. And I'm very sorry that you had to go through that trauma in your life. But I think that the blessing that came from that, really, and the positive that came from that was these books that are so inspirational and really do display women confidently, like we like to see. And so I'm sorry you went through that, but I'm grateful that you had that experience to share with all of us through your book. So thank you very much for coming on tonight. I just think the world of you and your I wish you all the success.
Well, thank you. It's behind me now, and when people tell me they learned something from reading books, and they'll learn from the third one too. I hope that makes it worth it, and it's new, right? It just shows you can change your career. You can take new paths anytime, any age.
So I do have to say, I loved book 1 until book 2 came out. And then I loved book 2. And I, wink, 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 have read book 3 in one of its stages.
But this way.
So,
Beta reader.
yeah. I can tell you that as much as I absolutely loved book 2, book 3 is awesome. So make sure got your antennas up and you know when it comes out. You can read it as well.
Yep. How are we doing on time there?
We are good. We're
good.
Oh, can you add, we got a question for you, Liz.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning you mentioned that you had done shooting chapter tours and you did that for your first year, right? You didn't do it much for your second book, I don't think. I don't recall you doing as extensive of a tour. So we've got people saying, well, can you add us for book 3 for your tour? Do you have a plan to tour like you did with book 1?
I do. I will do 3, do a tour similar to book 1, where I get out there more often and get to see lots of different chapters. And then I'll have all 3 that are available, hopefully by then. So, yep, that is the plan.
All right. Well, you got Columbus, Georgia has already put their vote in. So that's not too far from you. It's almost in your backyard. They would like to see, go ahead and schedule for book 3.
And they may know that there's a Detective Phelps and there's a Detective Walker. Because I like to say first.
So it's actually
Phelps and Susan Walker, and there may be a Pilar in there. I like to name characters after people I know and adore. And there is a butler in the 3rd book too.
Oh, hey!
There's a butler. So
hey.
I never am at a loss for names because I just reach out and say, okay, who do I want to give a name to?
So I think I think your next book should have, the little coronavirus puppy here.
You know what?
Yeah, there should be a baby puppy in it. And we can ship her to your house and you can give her a nice, good home.
Hey, how to sweeten it. So my 4th book, believe it or not, is in my head. It's a stalker story. And the kid can be a vet or either a vet assistant. So there is going to be a dog in that book. So
all right.
There we go.
They let the winner here, whoever names this dog, will pull a piece of that into the 4th book.
Oh, cool.
That'll be cool. So it's ironic because it was Nancy Phelps that said, can we go ahead and book Columbus for the book tour? So
Detective Phelps, we're on it. Yes, we'll be back.
All right. Well, we are at the end of our time. So I want to thank everybody for coming on. Thank you so much, Liz, for joining us tonight. I know you actually went into the office today. You've been doing a lot of work from home. So thank you for making the time to sit with us. And don't forget, everyone, you're making a puppy name out of Shoots Like a Girl, Legacy 2, and Coronavirus Mutt. Those are Mommy and Daddy. We're renaming a pup for Mommy and Daddy.
Yeah, because Trigger was a bad, bad girl. But you're
all right,
good.
well, thank you. Karen, do you have anything you want to close out with?
No, you all have a wonderful week. I can't wait to see y'all next week. It's going to be a great week. We can do everything that we set our minds to and keep a positive attitude. And I'm going to go have a nice little adult beverage. And I wish you all cheers and good night.
Good night. Good night, Liz. Good night, Karen. Good night, everyone.